Welcome to the Human Being 101 podcast. I'm Kathleen Schaefer, and this is Conversations with Kathleen, where we discuss how to live the mission of the Human Being Store: better people, better work, better world. At HBS, our work is based on a new way of leading in our careers and our lives, and this podcast focuses on how to do this through the lens of current events. As we come to the end of what many are experiencing as the second week of coronavirus, of social distancing, and of being in our homes and working remotely, we're going to focus today on this podcast about how we can, through our work here at the Human Being Store, support you as individuals in connecting to your leadership, in knowing how to most effectively connect with your families, with your communities, with your offices, with your organizations, so that we are able to orient ourselves toward solutions and toward improvements that can come out of this. Here at HBS, we send our very best wishes and support to those who are dealing with this pandemic directly, our healthcare workers, people who have family members who are suffering with coronavirus, and that, our intention here with this work is to learn the lessons of what is being presented to us and how we are then able to lead through this so that all of us can come out on the end better than we were before. Ultimately, that is what leadership's about. It's about turning challenges into opportunities. And we have that in spades right now. For years here at the Human Being Store, we've talked about how we look at the world of work and fundamentally shift it on its head. And that the main point I want to leave you here with today is that the way of working, our industrialized model, is done. And even though many people would suggest that we've, long left the industrialized way of working and that we've moved into the information age, the technological age, which is all true, most people have not understood that we have still continued to operate with the assembly line model of thinking about work, which is that we all show up in the same time in the same place to contribute something that then creates a product at the end of the day or the end of the week or whatever it is. Our education system still based on this assembly line model of all coming together and doing it this way. And what coronavirus has done is it has laid bare the fact that this is not a sustainable model, not just because we won't always be able to go into offices and work in the ways that we have, or schools, but also because most people, and we have, again, seen this for years, most people aren't happy in these models, that it is based on transactional ways of operating, and that individuals, whether they're in a classroom or an office, are not allowed to connect into the best of themselves in their leadership, to contribute it in ways that are really dynamic and exciting, and indeed that so many of the issues, including those that have led us to this pandemic, have gone unaddressed for years. So the power in here is the fact that we now have an opportunity that is apparent to everyone to be able to shift and change and to do things differently. So today, I'm going to give you three ideas to think about here for the next couple of days. I've been saying to all of my clients that at this moment, we have about a 5-day window that we can look at how we're going to orient ourselves, because things are changing so dramatically day to day. So I'm going to give you some ideas of concrete, practical things that you can do here during the next few days to orient yourself to your leadership, to support the teams and the communities in which you're operating, and to begin to think about how we can look to the future. So first and foremost, as individuals, I'm going to suggest something that is the antithesis of the assembly line model, and that is that think about and reflect upon how you can engage in your work with the least amount of effort. Again, that assembly line model is based on all of us showing up. We've somehow decided that 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day or whatever it is, that the more effort that we put into something, the greater value we have. That's an old way of looking at things. What leaders will do now moving forward is they will be able to understand how to contribute the best of themselves with the least effort. This isn't about quantity, it's about quality. And in that, whether it's, with the people with whom you're living at this moment and your organizations and communities, as leaders, I'm suggesting that you not only focus on the least effort, you also are able to figure out how to offer your best in whatever it is and let go. In one of our discussions this week, we had one of the participants, ask us, well, how do I show value to my coworkers? How do I, convey to my supervisors that I'm doing the work that I need to be doing and I'm doing it well? And again, what I encouraged him to do was to let go of the need for the external validation. That's that assembly line. I got to show everybody that I'm doing my work, rather, and change or shift the perspective to how I can offer my best and just know that it will be seen. And to let go of needing any other outcome than the experience that each one of us has of just knowing that we're doing our best. We're changing the way that we show up, and we're showing up in our best, leading for ourselves, and because we know it's the power we have to offer it in the world, not because somebody else will tell us we're doing a good job or not. So as individuals, really focus on this least effort, offering your best, and just letting go of what the outcome is right now. Just practice that for a couple of days. For how you operate and lead in organizations and for teams that are coming together and people that are listening to, the question's been coming up all week, how do I support people in teams? My suggestion is support yourself or do for yourself and to support others in connecting to your inspiration to create. Right now, so many people are looking out at the news feeds and looking at what's coming through social media and the 24-hour news channels. And we're getting fed, again, in that assembly line model of things having to always be coming down the line at us. We're being fed a lot of things that are creating worry and distrust and all of those things. And I'm not saying they aren't real, and you can't create solutions. You can't orient toward where you're going or where you want to go by looking only at where things are and looking at the problem. And so again, in this space of least effort, in this space of silence that we're all being asked to participate in at this moment, I am encouraging individuals and in your teams is to connect to the inspiration. What's being inspired in you at this moment? What good can come out of working remotely? How can you take some time to figure out how you might look at something differently or address something differently? Again, when you're not on that assembly line, there is such an opening and a power of being able to explore new ways of doing the work that you're doing. And I can guarantee you're going to come up with better ways of addressing many of the issues that you've been facing. Third, and societally, as we look at what's going on in the world, so many of us are feeling the call to be able to support and others as in our communities as we go through this. One of the quotes that I saw recently says, chaos creates patriots. And I was really struck by that idea that, patriots are created, because patriots are people who love their country. And right now, we have a country that has been divided, and that we have had people on, across the political spectrum, and particularly on the ends, as so many people have gone to one side or the other in recent years, who have a quote-unquote love for the country, but generally just for a love for the country that agrees with them. And to me, the greatest opportunity in the era of coronavirus and what it's done, and in a way, what it's offering us, is the lesson that we're all in this together. We are all in this together. And that there are certain things, like a coronavirus, that doesn't discriminate between red and blue or left and right or Republican and Democrat. And that if it is true that chaos creates patriots, perhaps this is an opportunity for us to begin to think about love for our country, love for our society, not just, again, with the people or for the people that agree with us, but in a way that loving our country and indeed the world as we love ourselves and our families allows us to care for everyone then. And then we have the opportunity to really create solutions for all of us and just not some of us, which is what's been happening and which is why so many of the institutions that we have had some faith or less faith in have crumbled, is because we haven't truly believed that they are there to serve all of us. So my call to action is to get quiet here in the next few days, to really figure out what are the important things for you to do, and to do those, and to let the assembly line, just reflex of needing to be constantly in motion, go away. To connect with people and get inspired, whether it's the people with whom you're living or the people with whom you're working, find some inspiration. And from that inspiration, begin to think about what a world could look like if we were indeed all patriots, if we were all able to create patriots out of this chaos, patriots who love the world as we love ourselves and as we love our families. This has been Conversations with Kathleen. We at the Human Being Store are offering free sessions all week long. You can reach out to us at hello@Human Being Store. You can visit our website, and we will be providing updates throughout various social media platforms this week. I appreciate you listening. I am so delighted that you are a part of the solution moving forward in our society, of letting go of the systems that aren't working and creating new ones that will. Thank you.